Oh, I am. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Tuesday. I'm going to go close the door. One sec. Y'all can just look at Zora and James for a second. How you guys doing today? Very excited for this week. Lots and lots of stuff happened, obviously, so there's lots to discuss. And I'm very, very excited to talk about all of it with you. I have, no joke, 70 pages of questions this week that I got from you guys, in addition to whatever else is you guys come up with today live. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, hey, Jimmy Bodner. Nice to see you. Miss you guys. Miss you guys in New York. Okay. I guess I'll just wait a few minutes for everybody to start to join. But yeah, like I said, I'm very excited. I got a couple of questions where people are asking me to kind of break down the themes of the episode like I used to do on the Inside the World when we shot it. And I can totally do that. And thank you so much for the compliments. It is nice for people to say that I look nice. It's hard being single out here, so it's fun. Okay. So I think I'm going to start. Probably, I think the best place to start is to just talk about a couple of key things that came up this week. So the first thing I think I should talk about as you guys join, wow, there's 620 of you already, which is really nice. Couple things that people are asking about in terms of like the order of the kids in the Tejada family and some of these questions. I'm going to resolve a few of these things, and I'm going to tell you guys to wait, because all of the answers that you're looking for, literally every answer you're looking for, is coming up. But I don't want to spoil the episodes that are coming up for you, so I'm not going to give you all these answers. There are a couple of just few things that I definitely want to address in terms of just getting things right. And there are a couple of things that are really funny to me where people are like, well, is it this or that? And I'm like, we never told you it was that other thing. So I'll just say, no one said that Kane was Mecca'S son. Nobody ever said that. So when people are like, is it Kane or Zeke? I'm like, did someone say Kane was his son? But I do think that it became the conventional wisdom. And so people started to like talk about that and be like, oh my God, when is it going to be revealed? One of the things that I think is great about you guys as fans, because you're amazing fans, one of the things that is great about you guys is that you want to play along and you definitely are really invested. And I appreciate that deeply. And you've been invested for 10 years. Oh, hi, Jeffrey. Good to see you. That's my trainer. My trainer just said hi. The thing is, like, sometimes we don't do exactly what you thought was going to happen, which is, one of the hallmarks of the series. And so sometimes people get like, well, isn't it? And it's like, no, like, for example, we didn't say, I know Ghost does have a brother, but we never said we were going to be bringing him on or that he was going to be dramatized at any specific time. So, a lot of people are asking some questions. So, okay, I'm going to get started. And so let's see. The Tez asked a really good question just now. Have you ever considered a cross episode of Power Book 2 and Power Force 4 similar to Station 19 in Grey's Anatomy? That's going to be up to Gary and Brett now, because we didn't get an opportunity to do that. When we first conceptualized the Power universe, we definitely had a whole plan for going back and forth between different shows. I had this great sort of construction at one point where Tate was going to come off of Influence, like in an Influence episode, and go to Chicago and run into Tommy, and there was going to be a Tarik piece of all of that. Like, we really did think about doing all those things, and I guess, if that happens or things like that happen now going forward, they'll have to be Brett and Gary, and I won't be quite as involved in all that. Oh my goodness, my first Is Ghost Really Dead? I did not prep with a shot this time, man. Okay, all right, cool. Let's start here. Okay. Wanda Williams-Woods asked, who chooses which designer clothes are worn? Loving the LV and Gucci, so beautiful. Well, Frank L. Fleming, who has been our costume designer since season 1, has kind of been overarching over all of this since the beginning. And he was promoted to producer this year because he really has this incredible vision. So, we're going to make sure that he gets his props because the clothes are beautiful. And I certainly could never put things together that way. Okay, so let's start with, another easy question before we get into the real thing. Can I do a cameo? Nope. I will never be on. TV is not my thing. I don't like being on camera at all. It's not for me. I do this for you guys. I love that, but I don't want to be on TV. Like, that's not something that calls to me. I don't want to be an actor. That's not something that calls to me ever. Okay, so let's see. How old are Monet's children, including Zeke? Okay, so let's start here since I know you guys are all asking these questions. The first question that I'm definitely going to answer is Zeke, yes, is Mecca and Monet's son. That's absolutely it. It is not, Kane is not Mecca'S son, and I'm only saying that definitively because people started to be confused. But they started to be confused because they assumed Kane was his son. In terms of birth order, that is going to be discussed and everything will be explained, including how and why all the pieces fall together. All of that's going to be explained in future episodes. However, we want the audience to be pulled along one revelation at a time. It's too much information, and Monet has too many secrets and Mecca has too many secrets, so you're going to get all of those things. I got one really great question in here, which was that someone asked me, who does Zeke think his mother is then? That's also going to be revealed. And hopefully, if it stays this way, we're going to meet her in season 3. Okay, so that was a lot of information, and I definitely got ahead of things. Oh, so who is Kane's dad? Kane's dad is Lorenzo Tejada. We never lied to you about that. We never told you anything different. He's Lorenzo Tejada Jr. He always has been. Okay, all right. I'm going to go back to these. Wait, hold on. Agreeable one, could you please explain to the original Power fans that Ghost said to Angela that she could never come to the end? Ghost used women to get where he needed to be. I'm tired of arguing this. I actually don't understand your question. So if you can re-ask it, because I think there's a really good question in there, but I don't understand exactly what you're trying to ask. Okay, let's see. Why do the kids, Chronicles of Carolyn, why do the kids call their mom Monet? They don't call her Monet to her face. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. They call her Monet behind her back. They don't call her Monet to her face. And my brother and I, when my brother was alive, we called my parents Dolores and Herbert behind their backs all the time. Have you talked to Dolores? Have you talked to her? We used to do that all the time. Monet also, and it's going to come up more and more this season, but Monet definitely treats them like employees. And so they talk about her like she's the boss, but they don't call her Monet to her face. They say Ma to her face. And that's very specific. Mahogany 8_E5, Monet is not the Tejada kid's mom. No, sweetheart, she is. That is absolutely incorrect. Monet is their mother. We haven't changed anything about the parenting in terms of those 3 kids. Okay, let's see. Who is Diana and Drew's dad? Lorenzo, again. Okay. All right, cool. So let's see. Why haven't we seen any Drew-Lorenzo interactions? Well, that's really interesting. We haven't seen a lot of Drew-Lorenzo interactions. Maybe that'll change. I'm not gonna say anything. ATC, mixtapes, does Monet see Mecca as a threat to her secrets and power? Absolutely, but remember, she doesn't know he's Mecca. At this point in the season, she only knows that Dante, her ex-man, and her baby daddy has popped up. And so that's all she knows. Like, remember at the end of this episode when she goes to his hotel room and she says, I was wondering why you popped up right now. She does not know that Mecca is moving on the other side. And that's really important. Again, I always want to say this to you guys as fans. The characters are not in every scene with you. You guys see everything. Right? You guys see everything, but they don't see everything. Oh, hey, Joe. Joseph Shakura is in the building. Repping force indeed. Okay. All right, let's see. That's really nice. I'm really glad to see you, Joe. Is Simon the most powerful character in Power? That's interesting. I don't know. It depends on how you look at Power, right? Because Simon doesn't use a gun, right? Simon doesn't have that kind of street power. I would say that kind of baton of who has the most power is passed from person to person. Sometimes I think it's Davis, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think Davis is the most powerful person. Sometimes I think, there can be moments where it's Tarik because he knows more secrets than everybody. When did Zeke come to live with the Tejadas? Does Lorenzo not know him? Great question. I know we want to talk about this. So Zeke came to live with the Tejadas when he started high school. So he lived in the South until he was 13, 14, and then came up to live with the Tejadas. And when we're talking about this, I just want to say that we are using a lot of tropes that come from my own family's background, where people were cousins, but they weren't necessarily cousins, and people got moved around, and there were a lot of secrets. On my mother's side, there were a whole bunch of secrets about who was who on my father's side, in addition. And so a lot of Black families have pieces of this where people are raised by different folks. That doesn't mean everybody is, but I do want to say that this isn't stuff that we came up with out of whole cloth. Okay, so let's see. Kane's real name is Lorenzo Tejada Jr. What's the significance of having his name be Kane? It says Glock_Lexnar. His nickname comes out of Hurricane, which is what he was as a child. That will be explained later. Dondre Alife asks, does Diana believe trust in Effie telling her not to mess with Tarik? This is interesting because maybe Diana believes it, maybe not. But what I think is really specific about that scene, and I don't want to segue to Effie too early because we do want to have a whole Effie conversation because I think it's very significant here. But one of the things that is really important in that scene is that you guys see that there's some real hurt. I mean, Alex Lepre is an amazing actor, and one of the things that she did, I think, really well was kind of show there's some sadness in her when she was saying, don't mess with Tarik, he can't be trusted. It wasn't as simple as her trying to find an angle. She does actually care about Diana, and she does actually care about Tarik, and it's a little bit of a complicated situation. So, that is absolutely there. Okay. All right. Justin 21. Oh, I don't recognize you. Does Mecca truly like Kane because he's family, or was he just using him? Is Mecca acting like he likes Kane? Is that what you're getting out of that? Those interactions? Because I'm not sure. But Kane is learning a lot. Okay. Let's see. Pink Diva 1981. Does Lorenzo know that Zeke is Monet's son? Not hardly. Okay. All right. So let me get back here. Okay. See if there's anybody interesting. Report live from the trap, White America. Not sure what that's about. Cool. Okay. I am Doc B. Was the Zeke parentage storyline always part of the story arc? I rewatched season 1, episode 1 yesterday, and Zeke referred to the Tejada children as like brothers and sisters. You're paying attention. I am Doc B. It was always there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Lorenzo. Oh, sorry. I didn't finish my answer. So Zeke came when he was about to start high school. Lorenzo has been in jail longer than that. So no, Lorenzo does not know him. Okay. Let's see. C. Thomas 10K. Will Effie and Diana remain friends until the end of the season? You know I'm not going to tell you that. Why would I tell you that? I'm not going to tell you that. I will say that is an interesting dynamic between the two of them, and we all were interested in what that friendship would look like. So let's see. Okay. I get this question a lot. King Thread ZCO. If Ghost and Tommy was big distros in New York, how did Monet and Lorenzo never hear about them? I think I've answered this before, but I'll just answer it one more time. Remember that Ghost, James St. Patrick, kept himself out of the fray. He was actually not in the streets. You guys saw him all the time. But remember, the reason he was able to move the way he moved was that people did not know who he was. That is very specific, and I wanted to make sure of that. It Girl Peach says, can I come on the show? I mean, I guess that's straightforward. Shoot your shot, right? Shoot your shot. Okay. Let's see. Does Tarik have any suspicion about Lauren's Rolex yet? No, because Lauren's a rich girl, and exactly what he saw, which is, oh, is this Rolex from your parents? That's exactly what he thought. Hi, Justin. How you doing? Jabari Reynolds is in the building, y'all. All right, let's see. Okay. BGD Pete asks, why did Monet protect Zeke from the life instead of blending him in with her other kids? She could have just lied to Lorenzo. Well, you're going to find out what she told Lorenzo. I'm not going to get ahead of that. But also, why did Monet protect Zeke from the life? Well, because he had this tremendous athletic talent. So why, she wanted to make sure that path was clear. One thing I wanted to note, and one of the questions that did come up about Monet and Zeke and whether or not we threaded that story in from the beginning. That was always the case. And I will tell you guys, if you go back and watch season 1, you'll see how Monet always treated Zeke differently than the other kids. She always was very much, you know, she gave him that Rolex. She was always sweeter to him and kinder to him. I think it's episode 2 when Monet and Diana go to his game. Diana asks, why can't she go to college? Why can't she play basketball? And she says, Zeke can. And she goes, well, Zeke's not my kid. You are. Interesting that she said that. Okay. Let's see. Chasing Dreams 99. Did I pick the next person taking over from me on Power? Yes, I did. Brett Mahoney is a close friend. We've been friends since Eli Stone. If you guys go back and look at our IMDb's, we've been friends for a really long time, and we really love to tell story the same way. So that's pretty cool. All right. Okay. AMC McDonald 038. You were here last week. Awesome. I love to see people come back. Will Monet ever give independence to her children, or will business always come first? That's really interesting. I think Monet is very frightened about what it would be like if she just relaxed and she was a mother. She's a very conflicted, very complicated character, which is why I love Mary. Let's see. AmberBoo.J. Why y'all choose Zeke? No better actors came to casting? Now, this is so interesting because I definitely want to address this. So you guys think Zeke is really dumb, right? And you think Zeke is really simple and he makes a lot of bad decisions. Well, Daniel Bellamy is this very soft-spoken, serious musician, very complicated, very intelligent. He's completely transformed. So what do you mean by better actor? I think what you guys are feeling is you want Zeke to smarten up. Well, don't we all want Zeke to smarten up? But that's not a performance issue. That's the actor has completely transformed himself. Okay. Okay, you guys are asking, where is Raquel? Kanan said in the penthouse he had to go check his mom's, and where is 2-Bit? Okay, I'm going to skip those questions for now. Amy Ron 10 says, how come you don't drop all the episodes at once? That's a Stars issue. That's not about me. Let's see. Sophiology_B. Effie was disappointed in how things went with Tarik, but she screwed him over first. Yes. And she and Tarik have that in common, don't they? They screw people over and then they're like, why you mad? Why you mad, bruh? Okay. OVO_Deb, have you ever considered writing novels that could be prequels to Power? That's really interesting. If I had time to write a novel, that would be a great idea. I don't right now, but because I'm busy. But we'll see. Okay, let's see. Okay. Militic Migo says, why isn't there a ghost RIP on the Power page? That is not my call. I know you guys use that as evidence that he's still alive, but it wasn't my call. So there you are. Okay. Same question, same person. Who does Zeke think his mom is? And if all kids are around the same age, how did they not notice that? Again, he was not raised from a child with those kids. He's from the South, and he does have a woman who raised him. So you're gonna see more about that. Okay. Let's see. See if there's anybody interesting. Wow, a lot of people asking me about Effie and Diana having a physical relationship. That is so interesting. How come they just can't be friends? How can people be friends? Okay. Let's see. All right. Someone says, for some reason, I don't share anything about Lauren's character. Why? I don't know if that's true, but I'm happy to talk about Lauren. Lauren is, for me, someone who is, while being a city kid, she's far more sheltered than Tarik was. Where Ghost and Tasha kind of sheltered those kids from the reality of what they weren't as protective as Lauren's parents are. Lauren, to me, sort of signifies a kid who's always been on the straight and narrow and has a very kind of narrow way of looking at the world. So that's how she comes to be exploited by Carrie. I did have a great question here about why does Carrie get Lauren involved at all. She gets Lauren involved specifically because Lauren is susceptible to that. And Lauren, obviously, she gets herself in a bad little spot. But instead of just coming clean to her parents, she just goes, oh my God, anything that you can do to get me out of this situation. She freezes up. And that's because she doesn't know what to do. And I think we're showing with Zeke and with Lauren the two ends of the spectrum of when kids are unprepared for encounters with the police or with law enforcement. Lauren is unprepared because her parents didn't anticipate that she would be in that situation. And Zeke is unprepared because that's exactly how Monet put him together. Okay. Let's see. Arwood asks, is Lauren protecting Tarik by taking the watch off? She is, but she doesn't know that Tarik is responsible for anything at all. She just knows that she doesn't want to, if someone's listening, she doesn't want to have sex with that person listening on her watch. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Tosh Money Food Adventures. I think she feels guilty about not raising Zeke. I think that's a very good way to look at that. Okay. Naya Pie 777. Did Diana take the money from the safe at the bar? You're paying attention. Okay. All right. Heart to Art asks, what are the deeper themes of humanity you'd like to resonate the entire season and series? How long y'all got? Okay. But what I will say is that I do want this idea of, do the sins of the father, are they visited upon the son, to always be there? The ideas of inheritance, the ideas of what does it mean to be family. And then survival. I think survival is a huge part of this. As an African-American woman, I mean, survival is like an everyday struggle. So that's something that's definitely important. But this connects to another question, which is, what aspects of power do I want to portray most this season? And it really is about free will. Is there such a thing as free will? How much do the things that our parents turned us into, like, dictate our future? You know, those are really important points. How much can you change from who your parents are? You know, how much is that a deep shift? Wow. Okay. Sometimes you guys ask questions and I wonder, like, did you really want me to answer, like who's going to die next? Like, do you really want me to answer that question? Did you expect me to answer this question? I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'll look at some other questions. Is Coach K underscore FTN1, is Effie becoming a mentor to Diana? Yes, in a way, because Effie is far more experienced than Diana is. Okay. Let's see. Simply Keandra, does Effie have a thing for Lauren? No. Sassy Q, is Tasha ever going to come back or she's gone off the show? I keep saying this. I don't know why this is difficult to understand, but I'll say it again. There is a show called Queens on ABC. Naturi Naughton is one of the leads. She has to be shooting that. That's where she's going. That's where she is right now. I don't mean that is like something that could never happen or whatever. We haven't even gone there, but I do want to say, like, she is busy. She's like busy shooting. So, you know, just wanted to say that for sure. Let's see. Accounting Tony underscore V. If you had to compare characters to chessboard pieces, what character would represent what piece? Oh, that's a great question. We actually talked about this. That's actually in season 1 when Tarik talks about which Tejada is which. So if you remember, Monet was the queen because she can move in any direction. I think we had Kane be the rook. I think Diana was the bishop. I think Drew was the knight. I'm not entirely sure. This is off the top of my head. I don't always remember exactly every single word from every single episode. I had somebody come for me the other day because they were like, you don't remember? And I'm like, no, I was busy making up new stuff, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. Is Kane really her son? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the official Chandler. Why did I name Terry Silver deleterious? I used that word in the room once, and the entire room laughed at me for using that word. So then it just became a name. Desi K underscore. Oh, another mega fan. Did Woody write the line, "You the $1 million nigga"? I don't remember. I think he did. Woody's very smart. And he's like a great writer. So it's possible. I mean, this cast is unbelievable. I would say Woody and Michael Rainey and Gianni have kind of remind me in terms of capability of improv. Like Joseph, who's on here right now. Joseph is like unbelievable at improv. You know, some people really have that. That's like just an incredible skill. And so, you know, they can come up with stuff. As I've said to you guys before, though, our kind of process is that you do that in the table read so we can actually put it in the scripts. Let's see, Dash 25. Is Lauren more of a Tasha or more like Lakeisha? why do these characters have to be like previous characters? I feel like you guys are, not you guys, I shouldn't say that. Some fans feel like, oh, this one is Tasha and this one is Angela, and they're not, because they can't be, because all the characters that we had before were adults making adult decisions. These are kids, so they don't actually, they don't do the same things, and they don't represent the same things. These are people who are still trying to figure out their way. Let's see. 2622, Drew Michael Corleone, don't deny it. I will not deny it. I will say, yes, you are correct. And in fact, for those of you who did catch the Godfather reference this season, in this episode, I'm sure a lot of you did. Absolutely. I'm telling you that openly. I will not try to deny it. Okay, let's see. Does Monet have a day job? No, she's too busy yelling at her kids. No, she does not have a day job. I was about to say something silly, like, she's actually an international recording star. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She does not have a day job. She owns that bar, so I suppose if there's a day job, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, the Bobby B7, the sins of the father are the theme. Will Tarik repeat Ghost's mistakes? He's already repeating a bunch of them. I hope you guys are seeing that, Kayshawn 40, will Tarik and Kane ever see eye to eye? I wish they would. I wish they would get to a place where they actually really start to respect each other, because they have a lot to offer each other, for sure. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. Do I think that Dave the Juice God, do I think there are any parallels between Detective Whitman and Greg Knox? That's a great question. Actually, this is a brilliant question. I think there are some. I mean, I think we always want to have that kind of almost intrepid, kind of, dogged investigator, somebody who's like a dog with a bone. I think you really want that in the series. Greg had a lot of obsession issues with Angela. Obviously, you've got some of those issues with Whitman and Carrie, but it's not exactly the same thing. Definitely there. If you guys remember, and this might feel like a small thing, but it is important. Angela and Greg were together. They were boyfriend and girlfriend when Ghost sort of pops up and basically steals her, which is not really what this situation is. And that's why Greg kind of goes super crazy. That was a great performance by Andy Bean, by the way. That when he really turns, and you get that at the end of, I think it's the end of season 2, when he's like confronts Angela in her basement. Oh boy, scary. Oh, okay, wait. Goddess Zest 4, can I give you advice about writing scripts? Yes, I can, and I'm happy to do it. Just tell me what it is that you specifically want to know. I will look at these live questions. I'll scroll down, and you guys tell me what you want to know about writing scripts. But the most important thing is to write every day. If you can write every day, that would be really great. Let's see. Preach_IM. I love how the classroom is basically the topic of the show. What inspired this? I just like to work thematically. I'm not a perfect writer. Spontaneous bursts of emotion are super great, but I really love to have an anchor for the episode and kind of know what that is. Hammerbake, does Mecca have any family? Stay tuned. He has a son you just learned about. Let's see. David M. Vilkazi, will Tarik ever deal with Kane out of necessity? What do you mean by deal with? Okay. Let's see. Let me think. Okay. Mila China, will Tarik ever realize that Ghost was right? Ghost was right and only trying to show him that the drug life wasn't a good life. In other words, will Tarik ever truly appreciate Ghost for being the father he could be? You know what, man? I hope so. I hope Tarik really does learn that. I hope that Starz gives the show enough seasons for Tarik to really realize that. The larger plan is for Tarik to really follow a journey. But, you guys have to keep watching and make it, impossible to cancel the show. Okay. All right. How will the Rolex play? Why would I tell you guys that? K-Monty 620, Brayden is not Tommy. Correct. He is not Tommy. Tommy is a completely different character, and they're very different in where they came from, what their motivation is. Tommy is a survivor. Tommy is a person who was like born into the life in a way, raised with ghosts, just a very, very different, entirely different character from Brayden. Word plays. Did you go to school to write for film? I did not. I went to Brown, and I went to and did English literature, and then I went to Columbia and I got a master's in English literature. I had like English professor kind of background. I didn't go to film school or TV writing. Chris Lofton joined. Ooh, Forest cast in the building. We love to see it. Chris is one of my favorites. He plays Jannard in Force and is an incredible actor. And has very good fashion sense in real life. If you're not following him, you should. Chris D. Lofton, he has amazing fashion sense. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Queen's Taino, I love your name. You said, what is Braden's motivation? He has access, money, and power. Well, it's interesting because Braden's motivations come from the fact that he is, I guess he feels like he's being pushed into a life because of who his parents are. And he doesn't want that life. He wants to do something different. He wants to do something on his own terms, which I think a lot of people can relate to. It's just that a lot of people want the things that he's being given. But he likes earning his own money. If you guys saw in episode 106, when he was actually hustling on the corner, he enjoyed that. It's very different from what we would expect for someone like that, but that is his journey. Rashad Bell, 87, do you think Lauren love and loyalty to Tarik will cost her like it did Angela with Ghost? Can't say yet. Can't say. Okay. Just looking. Handsome Jamaican. I love your name. Did Mecca kill Big Guap? Oh, wow. I should take that to the writer's room. That's very, very interesting. Definitely not the answer to that question, but that's really interesting. That's very, very interesting. Ms. May 20th. When Tarik sees Lauren as a snitch, will he begin to blackmail her? Well, do we know that Tarik is going to find that out? I don't even know. Let's see. Okay. DCM 34. Did Kane put Ramirez's badge on Tarik's side or Braden's side? And will Ghost come back as a ghost to Tarik? That second one I cannot answer, but the first one is you're just going to have to wait for the next episode to see that. Okay. Sassy Q, what happens with the badge? Does Tarik find it? Listen, man, I'm not going to tell you that. Okay. I can't pronounce your name, sir, but you said, I've always wondered this, does Monet treat Kane a lot differently? Why does Monet treat Kane a lot differently than Drew and Diana? It's actually covered in season 1. She actually tells Diana why she treats Kane differently. And she says Drew and Diana were good kids. They were soft. They were sweet kids. And that Kane was never like that. That Kane was always bad. Just saying. Go back and you take a look at that. And that's in season 1. Let's see. What's up with Chef, says DC Social Butterfly. Chef is a long-term employee and compatriot of Mecca'S. Well, I had a really good question here. Is Mecca ex-military? Yes, he is. He is ex-military. And so these guys that he's with, they're all people who he kind of served with or worked with. So that's where Chef comes from. Shay Babe, will you guys be changing Yasmin again? No, we are not going to change Yasmin again. Rella talks, is Big Mama holding on to Yas because that's all she has left on to hold on to? Absolutely. Absolutely. Estelle is, I wish we would have given Debbie more time, more screen time, but Estelle is really bereft because of Tarik. And I think it's such a great scene in this episode that you guys just saw where she confronts Tarik and she says, every bad thing that's happened to this family is your fault. I bet a lot of you felt like, yes, somebody say it to him, you know? Sean White, 247, we all make mistakes. What mistakes have you made with characters? I think I probably said to you guys that if I could go back and I knew that Force was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have killed Lakeisha off. I think I probably would have kept her alive. There's nothing else that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like, oh, I wish I had done it differently. I think that, you know, and then again, just my spiritual practice, I don't live with regret. Everything that happened for a reason, whether it was for me to learn a lesson or for me to get closer to my highest good. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know the answer. But I think that one, if I had known that Tommy was going to get his spin-off for sure, and obviously this is a while ago, I probably would have kept Lakeisha alive. Shocky27, where's the detective that was investigating the GTG murder? Laz Alonso is on The Boys. He's a series regular. I wish I could have had him back, but we were not able to do that. Okay. Everything straight cash. Will you give us Power fans one big hint for the next episode? I will do that in 10 minutes when I'm right about to leave. Okay, let's see. Is he a mercenary? Oh my God, Trina! My cousin Trina is in the building. Hi, Trina. Yay. Let's see. Okay. I have really great cousins, y'all. As a lot of you know, I lost my brother only not even 5 months ago, and I have incredible cousins. Okay, let's see. My cousin Trina is my motherfucker. All right, so let's see. Yes. Does Dion 305, repping Miami, I'm guessing, does Mecca live a life to the public like Ghost? Yes, he does. That's what in episode 3 of this season, when Monet Googles him, that's what it says. He's in the import-export business. He's got that. Okay. Ms. 222, is Big Mama smashing the conservator? This is what I love about Black people, okay? Smashing the conservator. That's what I'm talking about. High-low in the whole thing. No, she's not. But I love that you asked that because that's beautiful. Wordplay is Lakeisha was doing too much. No, not Lakeisha. She had to go. You all, man. That's so funny. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. I'm just trying to get to any writing questions. Philip Rencher, in your writing, does plot influence character or vice versa? I come up with characters first. I think that's the most important thing in television. When you're writing a screenplay for a film, though, your plot is really going to have to drive you and you're going to have to make those things. But the best thing is to have your character really dictate the next choice that they make, right? So that's absolutely, people's actions come from character as opposed to plot informing character. Okay. Let's see. Imperial Mark, what is my dream story to write? My grandmother has a really interesting story, or had a really interesting story. And, and it's about Harlem in the 1920s. And so I would love to write about that. Maisha331, is Tarik going to drive? LOL again. Like I said before, Tarik is from Manhattan. So, it is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's so funny. Who wrote R.I.P. Kane? What are you all talking about? Kane's fine. Kane is earning his death. I don't know what that is. Okay. Do I have a saving the cat moment in each episode or no? Scrap dog. 03 asks. I have not read Save the Cat. I own it. I haven't read it, so I don't know what that means, but I think so. Let's see. Okay. All right. Ace Cutter. In writing, do you write actual lines or do you start with plot? Again, you start with character, make sure your characters are sound. Then you figure out how your characters sound when they talk so that if you see the line, this is the goal. If I show you a line of dialogue on the page and it's like, 10 words or more, you should be able to figure out who's saying that line without knowing what the character name is because the character should be that distinct. Like Effie speaks differently from Diana. Braden speaks differently from Tarik. All those people should be, distinct. Even if you look at Kane and Drew in a scene, they don't talk the same way. That's super important because that's how you really develop realism. I've told people this before. If you want to have really good dialogue, get out of your house, wear a mask, but go to like a Starbucks or something and listen to people talk because that's how you're going to really get like different voices. Okay. Let's see. How am I confusing you? Callie made, Callie raised. Please tell me. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? All right, I'm going to finish up with these questions. Okay. Will we get to see more of Effie's backstory? Absolutely yes. No question. The real Kane Tejada wrote, why Monet treat me like a stepchild? I'm the most hated. I love you. You're hilarious. That's very, very funny. Monet has a really difficult relationship with Kane. Part of what we're dramatizing there too is that Lorenzo's been inside for a long time, and so there's this really weird thing that happens sometimes with like the eldest son when the husband is missing, which is that relationship becomes a little bit like a husband in absentia, a little bit, just a little bit. And so there's some weird dynamics in there as well, in addition to the fact that what she said season 1. Okay. Ooh, King Yuri 05. What is Tarik after? Money or stability? Tarik is after feeling better about his choices and what that means and whether or not he can protect his sister right now. Okay, let's see. Is there going to be a mid-season break? Unfortunately, there is. That's not my favorite. I don't love that we have mid-season breaks. I wish we could just run it all the way through, but there will be a mid-season break. Hi, Daniel Bellamy. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do 3 more. Okay. I think I did answer that. Shine _923. Did Big Mama's confrontation trigger Tarik? How do you think Tarik felt emotionally when she mentioned Raina? He felt pretty bad. Tarik doesn't have a lot of safe places to land, which was part of the point of the end of this episode too, which was just that he literally went through that with his grandmother, that horrible confrontation. She served him, and then he went back to Lauren, and Lauren wasn't even safe. Cream.honey, will someone be getting pregnant by Tarik? Y'all are always asking about pregnancy. So funny. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything. Is Mecca, Mr. J. White, is Mecca curious about Tarik? Stay tuned. I guess I should do a bunch of stay tuned questions. Let's see. Is Effie bad talking Reek to Diana because she wants him for herself or she genuinely cares? I talked about that. It's a combo, but definitely stay tuned about that. Where's Braden's girlfriend at? They broke up. Bing Josh _ if Zeke is Mecca'S son, is he just using Kane or does he really care about Kane at all? I mean, stay tuned. How was Monet able to hide the pregnancy and give birth without anyone else knowing? Stay tuned. ALX24, how long does it take an episode to film? It's about a month, including prep all the way to shooting, and then we have to do post, and that takes some time. And obviously, we made a mistake in post this week. I guess a lot of you guys caught that there was a double with Berto Cologne. I don't know how that happened. We're still trying to figure that out. So interesting. Okay, well, we're almost at the end. What was the question I said I was going to answer at the end? Do you guys remember? No? Okay, no problem. I can't remember. So if you guys remember what question it was that I was going to answer at the end, because I've forgotten. I'm juggling a lot of these. Amazing Abun Sungi. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Was episode 4's biggest surprise developed from season 1? Zeke being Monet's son with Dante. It was developed from season 1. It was always the way we were going to do that. We were always going to have Monet and Zeke be a mother and son. That was always what it was. However, we have to have a really delicate line between sort of dropping breadcrumbs and making sure that you guys have enough when you go back to look at it that it all makes sense, but we don't want to give it away really early. One of my least favorite things is when people are like, I saw that coming, and I'm like, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, that was stupid and you guys pulled that out of nowhere and I saw that coming. It's got to be one or the other. Oh, yes. Thank you. You guys are so great. I love you all so much. Can I just tell you? Oh, so you wanted a big hint for next episode. Well, I will say that now that Monet knows that Kane and Tarik were both involved in the Javari Reynolds murder, she is going to have a lot of feelings about the fact that they both lied to her. And so Monet is going to exact her revenge. I'm not going to say what that is, but Monet is going to have a lot to talk to both her son, and I guess Tarik, in a way, is kind of a spiritual son for Monet, but she's going to talk to those two boys about what they were doing. And I think that's it. We've done 45 minutes. I love you guys so much. I will sign off with just one thing, which is just in general, you know, when people come at you with racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, anything that is you, that you stand for, just remember that you are always allowed to say no, I'm not going to take any of that. And people come at me with all sorts of craziness. I just want to tell you guys, I'm here for you. I'm here for the fans. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. And I'm sorry I forgot to take a shot with all of you asking me to bring back Ghost. But next week, I totally will. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Bye. Okay.
Got it. That was...
And now?